He's a
like
Two
that.
World bodybuilder, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he wants somebody saying something like, "Who said shit to my wife?" You like, hey. You know, like
And you know
somebody.
what? I'm very loyal too. I mean, I appreciate all of your dick pics, but I don't want them.
Hey, guys, be like, hey, guys, yeah, she can't like a tall drink of water. Let me sit or something. Click, click. But, so we're gonna check for the social media for a bit, and we're gonna check something. And so the thing that really was that she was at an event here. This is from and it was an artist by the name. What's the name was this? Chappelle.
Cha-
How name?
it's Chapel Roan.
Chaperone. One I would think it's Steve Chappelle, and it was her. There's Teresa right here on her right here. That's you right there. And
Yep.
what was that? You was at Lollapalooza. What was that experience like? How'd y'all get together with her?
So her team came by my gym. I go to Quad's gym in Chicago, and they were just looking for bodybuilders. They didn't tell us what for or what we would be doing or anything like that. But they came and they asked, if they had somebody that fit the description, and they thought of me immediately. um, and that was really it. Like I didn't know that much. I just got a text from the owner of my gym, and I was like, sure, I'll do it. That sounds fun. Um, and I had never been to Lollapalooza before. I know it's a huge music festival and everything like that. So I was like, oh, this will be my chance to, finally go. I've been living here for over 15 years. And I had no idea how big the crowd was going to be. But my first indication that Chapel Roan was a huge star was showing up to rehearsal. It was, let me think, it was a Wednesday at 4:45. I walk down and I see pink cowboy hats down the street at the Vic Theater. And I was like, wait a minute, she's not supposed to play this venue until like 9 or 10 at night. And these kids are lined up down the block already. What's going on? So I go in and I like that's what they were doing. They were waiting all day for her. And once we started rehearsing and everything like that, they're like, just so you know, it's going to be 100,000 people there. And I was like, I go home and to your point earlier, I asked my husband, I was like, are you okay with 100,000 people seeing my ass in a thong on stage?
Well,
Right?
what's
You
the
know what's so
best?
funny? This picture right here it makes me laugh because it was taken by my friend from high school that I have not seen since high school, and he does media for Entertainment Weekly and People, I believe. And he sends me a text like that night or the day after, and he was like, "I got some crazy shots of you at this show. I cannot believe that I saw you on stage." Oh my gosh, those pictures right there. That's me waking up. This is the day before my first national show. That was in 2022, so I look much crazier than I do in those pictures. But it was kind of like the beginning of my journey. Those are all unedited. Like these are just me in the wild. And I was
Yeah.
proud. I was so proud of my muscle growth and everything like that. But I'm like, I was so tiny and I'm so much bigger now. And I was 37 years old. No, I just turned 38 years old in
Yeah.
those. Um, but what was I going to say? But so my husband, after I told him, 100,000 people are going to see my ass in this bikini, he was like, "Just do you." He's like, "All right." He's definitely um, a very secure and confident man.
Well, like I
So
say,
we're best friends, and he is clearly shorter than me.
yes. I mean, that's one thing is, usually you rarely see like a man that short be with a woman that tall, but it's about the
Yeah.
same opposite attract. Y'all both love each other. Y'all care for each other, and
Yeah, I honestly I love that he's shorter than me. It's like and like he loves that I'm tall. Like he's never like, "Oh, will you wear those flats?" He's like, "No, put that heel on. It's hot to me." So, I'm in my heels. I am 6'5". He is 5'4". So I'm a foot taller than him.
so it's like be kind of like what next thing you should do for Chris you do for Halloween. He dresses Wolverine. You dress as Storm.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a
Halloween's
good
my
one.
birthday. So we
Oh
we
wow,
dress up every year. And we're dressing up this year too. So
yeah.
it's gonna be I always have 1,000 ideas. I at least dress up one.
What do you enjoy yourself at the Lollapalooza? Because here you are with Jarissa Phoenix. Y'all look amazing. I mean, as a most supposed smoke, we just love y'all pumped women. Y'all excite us.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can tell you all about it. So I was a little bit nervous when I realized how many people were going to be there. It's I think it's the biggest turnout at Lollapalooza of all time. So, when I was interviewed before, they were like, what does it feel like to be part of this like very historic moment? And people are going to see these photos for, like, many, many years from now. And yeah, so I was nervous going in because I was like, am I ready? Like, do I look okay? Or people are going to be like, oh, this girl doesn't look great on stage or something like that. And then I was like, wait a minute, I've been putting in the work for years now. And, I just competed. I've been following, my plans super closely and stuff like that. And I was like on my way to the venue to like with my bikini in my bag. And I ran into this girl and her mom, and they had flown in from Oregon, and they were so excited about the show just to see me, just to be in proximity of me. They were so excited. That's me getting the call from Rolling Stone to do the interview. I was on a walk with my husband, just like taking a break from everything because I didn't know how this was gonna like blow up so much. So he took that video, but once I ran into them and I saw how excited they were to just be around me, I was like, I'm not scared anymore. Like, I'm not nervous. Like, I just need to make this a good show. I can bring, sexy in a bikini. That's what I do, in my free time. So I was excited at that point. And it wasn't until I got backstage and we were waiting to go on and I was looking out into that sea of people and I was like, whoa, because I was looking as far as my eye could see. Oh, my wedding day. Oh, I love those pictures. Um, I have never seen so many people. I was looking as far as the eye could see, and I could not see the end of the crowd. It was like, like the energy was just like electric. It was just like coming at you, and I was like, yes, let me out there. And so, a little like behind the scenes tea is that they told us to just like walk out casually, stretch like you're going to start training. I usually stretch after just so I'm warm, but I was like, okay, we'll go out and stretch and then just start training and pretend the crowd's not there. And it's very hard to ignore 100,000 people, right? But I still went out there and did my best. I like stretched, and then I was like, oh, this will be cute. Like I'm in my bikini, I'm gonna go down and do like a full pigeon. Like I'll lower myself down, so then everyone can see like the muscularity in my delts and in my back and everything like that. And they showed it. They showed it in the footage. I'll have to send you some clips from it. And so I'm like doing like a half split in like my bikini. Like the crowd is like, what is happening here? And then I get up and then we start training or whatever. And I was like right behind where she was. And they were just living for it. They were loving it. Um, and one of the questions I've been asked the most, I think, is were those dumbbells heavy? Because they look so heavy. I can't believe they had you guys training all that time. They would have blown away if I wasn't holding on to it. Like they were so light.
They were fake.
And I was like trying to like make it super. I was like, oh god, this is so heavy. Like pretending. And I think it worked, but yeah, it was not heavy.
Well, it's good that you enjoyed yourself. You had this recognition because, like I said, Rolling Stone is one of the biggest magazines around, especially for music. Being at
Yeah,
Lollapalooza, I think post the pandemic, it probably was the biggest Lollapalooza had in a long time because a lot of places there was a lot of concerts and stuff like that going on. And
it was the biggest set of all time that they've ever had, ever. Like
mm,
since Lollapalooza started, it was the biggest turnout ever.
yeah,
Um, and for a girl that wasn't a headliner too. So she's blown up tremendously over the past few weeks. And it was crazy to be a part of it. And especially because I don't consider bodybuilding to be mainstream in the United States. I think it's much bigger in other countries. So I really felt honored to be a part of this, like merge into the mainstream. And especially, with the, female artist, her whole band is women, being up there, three other very strong women, it just felt very powerful to me to be a part of something like that. And yeah, I'll never forget it.
Yeah, because what we're saying, we'll say that I've been following body for a long time. It's really been more mainstream here. It really has really been more popular here in the states because there's more competition here, more opportunities. It's kind of grown up in a few years. I know I'm talking ladies from as far as Australia, South Africa. A lot of European countries are jumping onto it the last few years. It's like
It's been popular for there for a long time. Like Indian countries in the Middle East, it's very
yeah,
popular.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, I remember when I was coming up, you used to watch it on television. You can catch it on ABC, you can catch it on ESPN, you can catch it on Fox Sports, but it's not on television. You can actually, here's the funny thing. I remember a friend of mine sent me this video. It was like these guys pillow fighting. That's going to be on ESPN instead of bodybuilding. Yeah, it's crazy. You can watch cornhole, you can watch darts, poker, but bodybuilding don't get on television.
Right.
I just watched the show, which the Texas Pro it was yesterday, and I support because it had women's physique. I don't care too much about the guys because, like I said, I gotta say it may not be the '80s, but I'm down with the ladies. So
I know, I love the girls too. Like it's always been because I love the like girly stuff, like the bikinis and the boobs and the hair and the everything. So it's always been women first and then the guys. But some of them, my friends have like been competing and stuff like that. And as I get to know more and more people, I'm like, yay! And I get excited for the guys, but the girls are where it's at for me.
yeah, this is from a comment from man KL. He says for a bikini competitor, you are a bit buff, flexing. And that's the thing is. The division has evolved over the years because I remember, and this is no offense. This is Yeah, yeah. This is no offense to your division. I'm going to say this because I'm going to say it again. My crime is a much personal. I'm not a really big fan of bikini. Or I felt like it wasn't really like if you look at the other divisions, like I said, like women's bodybuilding and the others, they was like women's bodybuilding started everything because you had women's bodybuilding, you had fitness, you had figure, then here comes physique, and here comes bikini was more like brought in, but it has grown with the division. If you look at the girls
Yeah,
now,
each class gets bigger over time. Like it, and if you see some of those girls in person, they're very heavily muscled. And I will say, like, I'm pretty heavily muscled for a bikini competitor, but I'm tall, so I don't look that big in comparison on stage. And so, like, for me to have as much muscle as I do, and you see me on stage, and you're like, wait a minute, like, she looks so long and like lean and stuff like that. I do have a lot of muscle, but I'm reaching a point in bikini. To your point, like, I can't train arms anymore because my arms are so big. I can't train quads anymore. Like, there's just certain movements I can't train triceps anymore. I can do glutes and I can do shoulders. That's about it at this point because I'm going to outsize the class.